ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Motorsports Magazine, a very soggy edition of Motorsports Magazine. Light rain in the forecast throughout the afternoon here in Plattsburgh, New York. But joining me now for today's program is last week's Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade feature winner, Robbie Favreau. Robbie, you're from Plattsburgh. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Last week, career victory number one. You started on the pole for the 25-lap feature. What was going through your mind? I know you must have been satisfied with the first place finish.
Oh, I was very satisfied, and I just tweaked on the car all afternoon, and it just hooked right up for me, and starting on pole made it a little bit easier for that victory of just keeping the other guys behind me.
I know it's the first time we talked to you in 2011 on Motorsports Magazine. What are some of your goals for the 2011 campaign?
I set a goal at the beginning of the year. I told myself I want to get at least top fives every weekend, and towards the end of the season, whatever comes out, you know, anything above a top five is a bonus.
I know the Renegade division is one of the most competitive divisions of the five here at Airborne Speedway. Talk about the competitiveness this year in 2011.
Oh, very competitive. When you can run door handle to door handle for up 10 laps and not even touch each other, and that's competitive, and you learn to race who you can race against and who you can race clean against and who's going to, race you clean. And that's very competitive class. Any given top 10 cars can win at any given time.
Under the lights on a Saturday night at Airborne Speedway, the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade division gets a 25-lap feature. What's the mindset from a driver's perspective? Are you hard on the hammer playing it aggressive, or are you trying to be patient working your way up through the field?
I haven't really been able to start in the back of the pack or in the middle to pace myself, but I know you got to get up and go. Last weekend, like I said, starting on a pole, I just was so focused, and I've been in that situation before, and I wasn't going to let this one get away from me, and I just put the hammer down and I hit my marks. And Robin Wood always told me to be smooth and pick your spots and hit them every time, and that I did, and I came out on top.
What's sponsorship looking like? What's on the 22 car in 2011?
I have Leon Blair General Contract Excavating, E&E Sheds, and Shumway Insurance.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank, crew members, family, anyone?
Yes, I'd like to thank my brother for being here every weekend and helping me out. It's a great help for what he does. It takes a little bit off of me. I can focus on other things. My daughter for being patient when I work on this all week long. And my mother being in grandstands, family, friends, and all the support I get from other racers, and it feels good.
All right, we'd like to thank Robbie Favreau for being on the program. Stay tuned for another driver interview from Airborne Speedway next on Motorsports Magazine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Motorsports Magazine from Airborne. I'm with the 2008 and 2009 J&S Steel Tiger Sportsman Track Champion from Plattsburgh, New York, Bucko Branham. Bucko, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
After a couple of, distasteful finishes this year, you walk away with a third place finish last week. You must have been pretty happy to bounce back from two rough finishes.
Actually, I was really disappointed. It was rough to lead 21 laps and then the car just fall apart. I mean, the setup just went away so quick. I mean, it was disgusting, but I was glad to see Robin win. He deserves it.
Speaking of Robin Wood, Airborne Speedway's victory lane has not seen another Tiger Sportsman driver all year other than Robin Wood. Tonight, Airborne promoter Mike Perotti has placed a $250 bounty on the three-time winner in 2011. I'm sure you want to collect that $250 plus the additional feature winner's purse money.
I'm looking forward to it. You can just call me Dog.
Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? In reference to the television show?
Yeah.
So pretty much in the Press Republican this week, you were quoted as saying, you were trying to do some innovative stuff with the car this year, and now you've gone back to your old ways. Talk about some of the setups you're going to be trying tonight. I know the track is really slick right now after light rain throughout the afternoon here in the greater Plattsburgh area. How do you think the car is going to handle it tonight, and what's some of the stuff you're going to be changing?
We changed all the springs and shocks, things people don't know about, roll center heights and the camber and caster adjustments. Just things you got to do when you do a really soft setup. That's what we've been working with, and we had it really fast one practice, and we thought we could go faster and ended up screwing the car all up and never got it back. But I mean, we were close last week, but it fell off so bad that I can't let Robin keep winning.
I know it's the first time we talked to you during the season in 2011. I know we talked to you at the Crate Center for the preview show. What are some of your goals for 2011 here in the Tiger Sportsman division?
Mostly just get the most wins as I can because it pays the best, and that's what maintains the car. That's my biggest interest. But I'd like to get a championship again, which it's going to be hard to do with Robin with 3 wins already, and he doesn't have very much bad luck. So.
What's sponsorship looking like on board the number 20 this year, and is there anyone you'd like to thank for helping you out, or like friends or family or crew?
Yeah, I got great sponsors. I got Bud Light, Michigan's Plus, Daniel Signs, Marcia Holmes. Oh God, I got a bunch of people. I mean, Liquor and Wine Warehouse, they do so much for me every year, and I got a lot of people that help me. Bobby Therian from Vermont is my daughter's boyfriend. He works hard on the car when he's here. I mean, he doesn't get to come over very often, but we got Sean LaFountain and Casey St. Clair, and my daughter, she's been a big help lately. I mean, we're trying her setup this week.
All right, we'd like to thank Plattsburgh's Buck O'Brien for being on today's program. Stay tuned for another driver interview at Airborne Speedway on Motorsports Magazine next.
Welcome back to Motorsports Magazine, joined by Saranac Lake driver Chris LeVere. Likes to go by CJ when he's racing. And CJ, you've started off the year very strong, 2 wins and a second place finish. If you'll assess those 3 races for us.
It's been a pretty good season. Starting on the pole helps, you know. I've been up front, and it's easy to win when you're up front. Last week we had to start 14th, ran out of time, couldn't get to the front or to the lead. Anyway, we got to second. I really can't complain about the season at all. Everything is just falling in place and no problems. The car's just been great.
We talked off camera, and you mentioned that you may have the reoccurrence of that car popping out of gear problem. Talk about that and what you may have done during the week to fix that, or what you plan on doing to fix that if that problem occurs again.
The last 2 laps of the race last week, it started popping out of gear again. I believe we hopefully got that fixed. We changed the transmission fluid, went with a thicker stuff, plus we're in the process of having another transmission get redone and try to get better forks so it won't pop out of gear. Neons have problems with their forks in 3rd gear. A lot of guys use bungee cords to keep the car in gear. It only works for so long, and then the car starts getting worse, and it just gets to a point where 3rd gear goes away.
Now, something different with the mini modifies this year is we don't see like Rick Donor in the class. We don't have the Jimmy Collins and the Andrew Bordeaux. Assess the class, and from your standpoint, did that make it easier for you, or is there more competition now this year? What do you think about that?
There's a couple guys that are starting to catch on. We're getting into the season now, I bet. Probably like 5 or 6 guys that are starting to pick it up. Some of the rookies bought some of those guys' cars, and now they're figuring them out. Like Eric Sales last week, he had a good run with Rick's car, so he'll be up there, I believe. And Josh, he's getting there. Both Joshes, actually, the 13 and the 7. Right. They're figuring their cars out, and by mid-season, they're going to give me a run for my money. I'm pretty sure of that.
One race that's, I don't know if it's circled on your schedule, but many of the mini-modified drivers are looking forward to next weekend's event. It's the 25-lap, $250 to win. How excited are you for that race, and what preparations might you be taking for the extra distance race?
Pretty much I love the extra distance. I like 50, 25 laps. The more laps, the more time I have to work up to the front, and I like tire management. I can save tires. I mean, it's a 4-cylinder, but you know, for 5 laps, you beat them, they're done. You know, it's no different than any other car. This week we'll go through the car a little extra and give it a once-over, probably get some new brakes on it, get ready for the race. I like it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to win it.
Now this number 4 machine, another thing we talked about off camera, likes the high groove. And that's something you also ran last year. We often saw you getting your work done up on the high side. What is your thought? Why is the car better up on the high side than down on the bottom?
We set the car up for the outside. That's where you got to be fast, and with these 4-cylinders, you got to keep the momentum going. The higher I go, the faster the car goes. You just got to back it off a little bit earlier in the straights, and you can get on it earlier coming out, and it flies down the backstretch. I always like the outside. I like to be out there. It gives it more. I like to be excited, and the excitement out there, and I'm sure the fans like it too. And that's where you got to be to pass. So that's where I stay. I don't even if I'm in the lead, I stay there because that's where my car likes to be.
Even the progressive banking helps out, and you must really like that when everyone put it in. It gets you that much faster on the outside.
Yeah, I love the new track compared to the old track because that's where, if you notice and you watch the bigger cars, they go to the outside, and some of them got it figured out there. And once you get out there, it is fast. The progressive banking, it really, really helps out. And especially in 1 and 2, I figured out a little thing there, and yeah, I can get my car really going down the backstretch.
One last thing, last year you raced also down at Albany Saratoga on Friday nights and some races over at Devil's Bowl, if I remember. You have any plans on running all 3 tracks, maybe 2?
We're going to actually run a lot more. We took this car to Frogtown on Monday night 2 weeks ago, and we actually didn't do too bad. We finished 5th, but a little rough on the car, and this car's for here. And we got 3 more cars. My dad presently runs in Albany, and Bobby went down last night, and they ran 1 too. So I have to go down there probably this Friday to show up the family and beat them.
What are one other thing we're going to mention? What are setup changes? Do you have to play with the setup from Frogtown here, or can you just leave it?
Believe it or not, I don't change anything. I take the window out, put a screen in it, and a little bit different in tires, but for the most part, it's the same car. I do change the springs in the back when we go up there because they allow it. Here you have to run the stock springs, but if you get this car down to 6 inches, oh my God, what a difference.
All right, that's CJ LeVere. More Motorsports Magazine with racing action is coming up next.
Milton, Vermont, tied atop the points. The 17 is James Sayward. He's from Plattsburgh. Final row, it's the 2 for Metalman. He's from Clayburgh. And shotgun on the field, Plattsburgh's Dan Dubuque in car 61. 10 cars, green flag. 8 laps the distance, this first qualifier for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. As out front, it's going to be Don Franklin from the top of the track. The 69 takes the lead away from Bill Joyle. Joe Daniels going with him on the outside. The 57 of Joyle down on the inside. Jason McClatchy had to get on the binders with car 70. He's able to get his boat going in the right direction, and he'll take it right off near the top of the wall down the front stretch. Don Franklin shows the way. Joe Daniels running in the second spot. Running in third is car number 3 for Dave Drake, and then it's the 13 for Warren, who's going to go to the inside of Drake's 3. Into the third turn. Drake washes up the track. The 13 moves through on the inside. Joe Warren goes to the third spot. Jason McClatchy from the outside now down to the inside of Drake along the front stretch. They touch right near the start-finish line. McClatchy in car number 7 is going to move to 4th on the inside of car number 3, then drifts up in front of the 3 off of turn number 2. Drake had to get on the binders a little bit, and that allowed McClatchy to clear him and race into that 4th spot. Here comes the 7 of Joe Daniels, racing to the inside of the 69 of Don Franklin for the lead. Franklin still has the lead of the stripe by a half car length. Daniels works the inside of the track. On the outside, it's the Big Daddy. Don Franklin, the 69, gets a real good run off the top of turn number 2. Daniels had to go up a little bit on the inside of that second turn with Joe Warren running right at his door. But here's where Joe's car seems to take off. Got a little squirrely coming off of turn number 4. Still squirrely along the front stretch as we're halfway in the qualifier. Good save there by the 7 of Joe Daniels. Joe Warren continues to run on the outside. Daniels again has to tiptoe through that second turn. Now back after him on the middle of the backstretch. Out front, it's Don Franklin in car 69. His lead is now 4 car lengths as they continue to battle for second. Daniels fighting the handle of that car number 7, fighting the loose condition, combined with the track conditions, is going to bring out a yellow flag.
Well, rain reported once again all around the speedway, forcing the yellow.
Danny Dubuque's taking the 61 back to the garage area. All right, ready to try it again. Here they come off turn number 4, green flag. Franklin works down to the inside. Joe Daniels wants to go to the top of the racetrack. Franklin drifts up the track over at turn number 2. Look at Joe Warren going to the inside. Joe Warren takes the Freihofer 13 to the inside of Daniels in the 7 to go for second. He's got the second spot. Now he's got his eyes set on first. Down on the inside, here comes Joe Warren. Franklin will hold him off at the stripe for now, but Warren's got that inside line. Franklin will go to the top of the racetrack again off of turn number 2. Warren drifts up right with him. They're even off of turn number 2 in the middle of the backstretch, still even as they go into turn 3. Joe Warren on the inside. Joe Daniels looking to follow him now on the inside. Here they come off of turn number 4. The lead is Joe Warren's in the 13. 2 laps to go for car number 13. The 69 of Don Franklin in that second spot. Joe Daniels works right off of his back bumper with car number 7. Meanwhile, they run side by side for the 4th spot. Robert Gordon of the H2O, Jason McClatchy in car number 70. White flag about to be unfurled. There it is for Joe Warren in the 13. Don Franklin in the 69 is some 3 car lengths behind the 13 car. Then it's the 7 of Daniels, a car length off the back bumper of Franklin 69. Still side by side for 4th. Good battle going on between Gordon and McClatchy. Checkered flag about to fly. First win of the night goes to car 13 and Joe Warren. Second, Don Franklin. Third, Joe Daniels. Fourth, it looked like the H2O on the inside. And then Jason McClatchy finishing in the 5th spot with car number 70. 6th was the 3 for Dave Drake. And Billy Joyle 7th with a 57. Then it was the 17 for James Sayward. And the 2 for Metalman. A real good move working the inside of the racetrack. Made outside is the co-point leader and defending track champion. And on board car number 25 from Swanton, Vermont, it is Kevin Boonton. Boonton will start 6th. Row number 4 on the inside, the 7th starting spot for car number 51 from West Chazy, that's Freeman Sawyer. Outside from Plattsburgh in car number 10, it is Josh Allen. Back to row number 5 on the inside, 9th starting spot for the 0-2 from Morrisonville, it's Jimmy Collins. On the outside, driving the 0-8 from Dannemora, it is Andrew Bordeaux. 10 cars ready to run.
Mr. Turd.
Mr. Turd. The 357 for Seymour and the 86 of Rick Donor. 2 drivers that moved up from the Mini Modified division. They both campaigned Mini Modifieds last year. They've moved up into the Renegade division. And they'll pace the field in for qualifier number 2. Here they come off of turn number 4, down to the stripe. It's the green flag. The 357 pushes up the track. That opens up a line on the inside for Rob Favreau. If he can make it stick, how about a 3-car battle for the lead? And the 25 wants to get right in the mix as well. Here comes the 22 on the inside, trying to charge to the front. He's going to go from 3rd to 1st. Rob Favreau to lead lap 1. At the drop of the green flag, down into turn number 1, the 357 pushed up into that 2nd groove. The 86 worked the 3rd groove, and that allowed the 22 to move underneath. Problems for one of the top runners in this division. Lance Rabtoy with car number 11 is off the pace. He has slowed, and he is falling to the back of the pack. He's the 3rd place point man, tied with Joe Daniels for 3rd in the points. Out front, the 22 shows the way, but defending track champion Kevin Boonton in car number 25 is lurking on the inside. Boonton peeks to the inside into 3 and 4. The 22 of Favreau hanging on to the lead from the top of the track off the 4th turn, leading it by about a half car length at the stripe. Running 3 car lengths behind the 25 is Rick Donor's number 86. Then it's 3 back to the 43 of Josh Terry. And a big gap back to Curtis Seymour in the 357. Car 22, Rob Favreau, the O'Neill's Laundry Leon Blair contracting car, halfway leading by half a car length. Kevin Boonton in the 25 gets a good run in 2, peeks to the inside. Favreau works on the outside as they run into the 3rd turn. Favreau stays on the gas and it turns 3 and 4, and now off the top of turn number 4. That's where he's getting a real good run. Kevin Boonton was able to take a peek that last lap off the 2nd turn, and he's there again. Boonton on the inside, Favreau on the outside. Again, vaults off the top of turn number 2 to hang on to the lead. Boonton is still right with him on the inside. Let's see if Kevin can get a good run off the 4th turn and challenge at the stripe. Nope, got a little wiggle out of the rear end of that 25, and then allowed the 22 to hang on to the lead. It's been about a half car length to a car length at the stripe virtually every lap for car 22 and Rob Favreau. Less than 2 laps remaining now. The white flag about to fly as Boonton runs a high line and now looks to peek down to the inside off the 4th turn. That worked for him. He's right there with the white flag out. 5-foot advantage at the stripe for car number 22 and Rob Favreau. Favreau off the top of the 2nd turn. Boonton gets a good run off of 2. He's still with him. This could be a photo finish for the win in qualifier number 2 for the Renegades. Here they come into turn number 4. Boonton with a good run on the inside. Favreau with a better run on the outside, and he's going to hang on for the win. Rob Favreau gets the win. Kevin Boonton is 2nd. Rick Donor is 3rd. 4th to Josh Terry. 5th, it's going to be Josh Allen. 6th, it's the 357. 7th goes to Andrew Bordeaux. And
Mini Modified. Qualifier 2. Picking it up. as they come off turn 4. Chief starter Butch Hendry looks the field over and drops the green. We're underway. Quickly, Speedy's on the move on the outside of the 0-3, looking at a 3-wide shot coming off turn 2 and up the backstretch. 4 wide, look at Brissett on the move on the outside. Trying to stick his nose in front for the lead. He's going to be 3 wide coming off turn 4. Archer in the middle, the Fountain on the inside. Speedy had to back off. Wise move there. He does not want a piece of that front stretch retaining wall. Plenty of time to get the moves going in this first qualifier. 4 wide again up the backstretch. The Fountain looking in the mirror and saying, go at it, boys. I'm going to try and drive away. I guess he's not going to drive away because here comes Lavarnway on the outside. Brissett's following him. Josh Laporte in the 45. He'll follow the 41 car. They're 3 wide up the backstretch once again. Will they go 4? Laporte backs off just in time. They race in groups of 2 coming off the 4th turn to the halfway point. Laporte looks to the inside as Lavarnway and Brissett go by on the outside. Josh Lavarnway is your new leader. Speedy Brissett up to 2nd. 3 wide again on the far outside. That's the 20 of Jamie LaFountain to take the 3rd spot. Laporte back to 4th. Tim LaFountain is 5th. 2 to go. Speedy now looks to the inside of the 13 car as they head up the backstretch. The door is open if Speedy can make the move right here. Lavarnway tries to shut it, but the 0-3 is there. They come off turn 4. They'll see the white flag, and they're side by side for the lead. Brissett inside, Lavarnway outside. Jamie LaFountain has moved into 3rd, although Laporte's going to try and stick with him on the outside. Side by side into 3. Now Brissett sticks a nose in front. They come off turn 4. Checkered flag on the screen. It's Speedy Brissett to win it in the 0-3 and a 13. What? Josh Lavarnway is 2nd.
Checker starts on the point in this one, and it's the 59 for Stephen Brissett. Those 2 cars will set the pace. The 68 is Jamie Atkins, 3 for Dan Sullivan, 33 for Travis Bruno, 57 is Howard Stoner. In the final row, it's the 19 for Jamie Begor and car number 61 for Robin Wood. So 8 cars running in this second qualifier for the JNS Steel Sportsman Division. Out front, it's Dave Raptoy, who moved up to the Sportsman class from the Renegade Division. Dave's out front. Dan Sullivan, though, looking to the inside as they race off of turn number 4. Down to the stripe for the lead. It's Raptoy on the outside. Sullivan continues to work on the inside of the racetrack. Sullivan in car number 3. Raptoy in car number 21. Then it's the 59 for Stephen Brissett running in the 3rd spot. Jamie Atkins in car number 68. Howard Stoner in car number 57. At the stripe this time, it's going to be car number 3 for Dan Sullivan showing the way. So Sullivan takes the lead away from car number 21 of Dave Raptoy, then the 59 of Brissett, the 57 of Stoner, the 68 of Jamie Atkins, and it was his birthday yesterday too. So Jamie Atkins celebrated a birthday yesterday. Everybody seemed to have a birthday yesterday. Was it your birthday yesterday? Good.
Jamie, the youngest of the 3.
Off of turn number 2, Dan Sullivan's lead is 3 car lengths over Dave Raptoy, then 3 back to Howard Stoner in the 57, and here comes the 61. He's up to the 4th position. Robin Wood in car number 61. The bounty is out tonight in this Sportsman Division. You can beat Robin Wood, pick up 250 bonus bucks as long as Robin's still running at the end of the night. He's to 4th, closing quickly on the 57's back bumper and sizing him up now, perhaps for a challenge for that 3rd spot. Out front, Danny Sullivan showing the way with the Josh Laware blacktopping Key RD Trailer Sales McSweeney's number 3. In the 2nd spot, it's Dave Raptoy with car number 21. The Edie Engineering 57 for Howard Stoner running in that 3rd position. And here comes the Leland's Barbershop number 61 for Robin Wood to the outside of Stoner's number 57 car. It's a 3-car battle now for the 2nd spot. Raptoy in the middle of the track. Stoner's down on the inside. The 61 of Wood on the outside. He just flies right on past. It made that look too easy. Robin Wood just flying around the outside of the racetrack, sails around the 57 and the 21. He goes from 4th to 2nd. He made it look easy. Out front, Dan Sullivan in car number 3. You better not check that rearview mirror too quickly because he'll find that 61 charging from the 2nd spot. So Sullivan's lead is 6 car lengths. Robin Wood in car number 61 has closed from 6 car lengths to about 4 now off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go for Dan Sullivan. Is it enough time for Robin Wood? Howard Stoner running in the 3rd spot with car number 57. 4th is Dave Raptoy. Jamie Begor's moved from the back of the pack. He is now in the 5th position with the number 19. Travis Bruno had a fine run last week, finishing in the 2nd spot. He is also closing in to the top 5. White flag is out for Dan Sullivan, and the 61 of Robin Wood is right off the back bumper. He's got about a half lap to make something happen for the win. Sullivan in turn number 3 gets it down to the inside. Robin goes to the outside. Here they come into turn number 4. Down along the front stretch. Checkered flag is out, and at the stripe it's Sullivan by a couple of feet. Robin Wood finishes 2nd. Howard Stoner 3rd with the 57. So it's Todd Ormsby in the 0 and Dan Brown the 327. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag. Brown had a real solid run last week, probably the best that we've seen him have here at the Airborne Speedway, as he finished in the 5th spot, ran much of the race in the top 3. Patrick Dupree moving to the inside of Jim Ryan's number 60. Todd Ormsby in the 0 runs in the 2nd spot. Chris Kay in the number 18 machine running in 3rd. He works to the outside of the 0. KA charging to the top of the track, had to get on the binders as the 0 pushed up, and that allowed the 24 of Patrick Dupree. Oh, look out, the 46 of Martin Hebert just smacks one of those white tires going into turn number 3. As he was down on the inside of the racing surface, and he just slammed one of those white tires, and setting the pace in this 3rd qualifier. Patrick Dupree on the outside of row number 2. Keep an eye on the defending track champion. Here they come off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Green flag is back out. Dupree thinking 3 wide. Is he going to go 3 wide? Why not? There goes the Saranac Country Store 24 around the top of the racetrack. Going to the 3rd spot. Now looking outside Chris K.A. for that 2nd position. He'll settle back into the 3rd spot for now. Mix it up a little bit coming off of turn number 4 that last lap. Todd Ormsby in the 0 is running in the 4th spot. Then it's Jim Ryan in the 60. Brandon Bandit, Don Scarborough in the 11. He'll go to the outside of Ryan's number 60 machine as they run wheel to wheel for position number 5. Out front it is Dan Brown. Chris K.A. running 2nd. Patrick Dupree trying to find a way through on the inside. He's got position into turn 3. Backs out of it a little bit. Now looks to the inside, but it's been closed off by the 18 of K.A. Dupree takes a peek back to the top of the track. Now looks down low. K.A. protecting that inside line. Dan Brown checking out a little bit. His lead is 4 car lengths over Chris K.A. Dupree goes to the top, working the middle groove, now towards the wall off of turn number 4. And that's where he's going to try to get the job done. Chris K.A. hugging the bottom of the racetrack, running a smooth line with the 18 car. The 24 continues to work on the top. The 327 of Dan Brown wants to see that action continue right behind him, because it's slowing and impeding the progress of the 24, who was losing a little bit off the 4th turn that time as the rear end kicked out. The 18 of Chris K.A. holding the 2nd spot. The 24 of Dupree running in 3rd. 4th is Todd Ormsby, holding off for now at least the challenge of the 11 of Don Scarborough. And it's Jim Ryan in car 60, Greg Atkins, who is the 2nd place point man, running in car number 1, and right now he is running in the 7th spot. Not a lot of progress for our 2nd place point man. The battle for 2nd, running wheel to wheel off of turn number 4. K.A. on the inside, Dupree on the outside with 2 laps to go. Dupree has the 2nd spot. Dan Brown leads with a 327. Dupree closes in quickly in the middle of the backstretch. White flag about to be unfurled, and Patrick Dupree is in the hunt. He is right off the back bumper, diving down to the inside of the white flag. Dupree tries to get to the inside in 1 and 2. Closed off by the 327. Dupree on the hammer, coming off a 2. Racing to the lead, it's Patrick Dupree. Brown falls back to the 2nd spot. Can he make a move off the final turn? Not gonna happen. 24 of Patrick Dupree gets the victory. 2nd will go to Brown with a 327. 3rd, Chris K.A. 4th, Don Scarborough. 5th, Todd Ormsby. 6th, Jim Ryan. 7th, Greg Atkins. 8th to Martin Hebert. And 9th to the 5 of Jim McComb.
Here come the Bombers off turn 4, ready to take green flag in the qualifier. They pick it up. Duravage looking 3 wide on the bottom of the racetrack as they head into turn 1. He's unbeaten this year, trying for his 4th in a row. Alan Simmons is your leader as they scramble 3 and almost 4 wide up the backstretch. Chad Hendry has moved the 60 car into the number 2 spot. In third, that's the Travis Sherman 21. Duravage now 4th. Bill Joyle Sr. 5th in the 58. Kurt LeGrave runs 6th in the 72. Rob Sines is 7th. Dale O'Neill is 8th. Brandon Nolan 9th in the battle for the 10th spot between the 27 of Martineau and the 14B of Brissett. Up front, your leader continues to be Alan Simmons in the 26 car. Simmons with about a 3-car length advantage over the 60 of Chad Hendry. Here's Josh Duravage on the move in that 88 car. He's looked inside the 21. And Duravage goes to 3rd. We've got a car spinning over in turn 2, trying to get it refired. He's out of harm's way. Will stay green. That was the Martineau 27. Yellow flag out as Simmons just got the car refired. Field starts to gather back in as we're ready for a restart. Simmons 26, Hendry in the 60, back to the green. Sherman in that 21 car looking at a 3-wide move. He will go 3 wide and he'll take the 3rd spot away as Hendry is back to 5th. Duravage looks to the inside of Simmons. As they come off turn 4, Simmons still your leader, but Duravage is right there with 2 to go. Duravage looks to the inside of the 26 of Simmons, and he's going to take the lead off turn 2 and up the backstretch. Simmons tries to battle back, but to no avail. Duravage your leader. Joyle now looks to the inside of the 26 as they come off the 4th turn and get the white flag. 1 to go. Battle rages on for that number 2 spot. Bill Joyle Sr. on the inside, Alan Simmons on the outside. Joyle now takes 2nd. No doubt about your leader. He has been the dominant force in the Busch Bombers, and he wins another qualifier. Josh Duravage to win it. Bill Joyle Sr. 2nd, Alan Simmons 3rd, 4th spot to the 21 of Travis Sherman, and 5th will go to the 72 of Curtis LeGrave.
20 cars ready to take the green flag. 25 laps the distance. Here they come. Green flag is out. Kurt Seymour in the 357 shows the way. Big Daddy Don Franklin rolling through the middle of the pack. He is going to the 2nd spot. Rick Donor in car number 86. 3rd now. Dave Drake trying to get there on the inside. Gets a piece of Donor. Look out. Rick goes around. Rick Donor goes around in car number 86. Spinning going into turn number 3. Curtis Seymour in the 357 will set the pace. Rookie in the division after moving up from the mini modified class, where he had some pretty good success in the mini modified division. One of the better runners there last season. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag back out. Don Franklin with the number 69 looks to the inside. Again, that 357 goes towards a higher line in 1 and 2. Franklin works the inside of the racetrack. This time, Curtis Seymour is going to be able to hold off Franklin. Franklin hot into 3 and 4. You saw him get on the binders heavy. A lot of smoke from that 69 car, but he was able to hang on to his car and stay down to the inside. There's a case where somebody got on the brakes rather than using the car on the outside as the bumper. So the 357 of Seymour shows the way off of turn number 2, but Franklin is right with him now on the inside. Joe Warren's closing quickly in the 13, as is Kevin Boonton. The cream is moving towards the top. Robert Gordon is into the top 5 of the H2O as they almost touch coming off at turn number 4. Franklin had the lead of the stripe on the inside. The 357 gets a piece of him over in turn number 2 as the 69 pushed up the track right in front of him. The 69 of Franklin shows the way. The 13 of Joe Warren now on the inside of the 357, trying to take that 2nd spot away. Franklin drifts high into turn number 4. Warren sticks on the inside. He'll go to the 2nd spot. Seymour falls back to 3rd. Running in fourth on the inside, it's Kevin Boonton with the 25, but Boonton gets a good run going to 2. Boonton will go to the 3rd spot. Seymour falls back to 4th now. Robert Gordon sizing him up. Curtis Seymour sliding back. He's in 4th now. Make it 5th as Robert Gordon will pass him on the inside for the 4th spot. Back to that 5th position is the 357. The leader is Don Franklin. He leads by 3 car lengths over Joe Warren. Kevin Boonton putting the charge to the outside. Warren pushes up the racetrack. Boonton gets on the binders. He'll lose 1 spot. He'll lose 2 spots. He'll lose 3 spots as Boonton had to get on the brakes, now running 3 wide for that 4th position. Rob Favreau, winner last week, moving on the inside, and he is to the 4th spot. Boonton back to 5th. Kevin Boonton was working on the top of the racetrack. A car on the inside, that was Joe Warren, pushed up the track. Boonton had to get on the binders and lost several spots, so he'll have to fight his way back. Robert Gordon moving. The H2O looks to the outside of the Freihofer 13, running in that 3rd spot. Robert Gordon trying to make a bid for 2nd. Out front, it's the Big Daddy, Don Franklin. His lead still 3 to 4 car lengths. And it's Joe Warren in car number 13 running in the 2nd position. Here comes Gordon after him on the outside. Robert Gordon's 1, 2 of 3. Looking to make it 3 for 4 tonight. He's going for that 2nd spot on the outside, and he has 2nd at the line. 3rd now is Joe Warren. 4th is Rob Favreau with a 22. Favreau is looking to go back-to-back. Winner last week. He'd like to pick up win number 2 tonight. And he's got that car in position as well to contend for the victory. As they're 3 wide, Favreau and the 13 of Warren get together in turns 3 and 4. That's going to bring out a yellow flag. And we'll slow the pace again in the Renegade feature event as Rob Favreau looked to the inside of the 13 of Joe Warren. And that's going to bring out a yellow. All right, should be good as the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegades, as they typically do, running side by side for the lead. And here they come again off of turn number 4 to the green flag. Kevin Boonton almost giving a push to the Big Daddy Don Franklin into turn number 1. Franklin drifts up the track. Boonton drifts up with him. He'll stay in line off of turn number 2. Gordon's on the outside. Boonton in the 25. The H2O of Robert Gordon. Those are the top 2 point men, tied atop the points through 3 events. Out front, it's still Don Franklin with a 69. At the line, it was the 25 of Boonton in the 2nd spot. Franklin drifts up over in turn number 2. Can Boonton get there on the inside? Gets the nose underneath. Down the backstretch. Franklin has the lead into 3. Boonton's there on the inside. Kevin Boonton with a 25 will try to hug it down low. The 69 takes it right up against the wall off of turn number 4. He's still in the lead. Shaping up as another great side-by-side battle for the lead. Boonton in the 25 closing in again. Almost even in the middle of the backstretch. He draws even. The 69 of Franklin's with him on the outside. Last lap, Franklin got a great push off the top of the track at turn number 4. Here he comes again on the outside. It's going to be the 25 of Boonton with the lead this time at the stripe. Kevin Boonton shows the way. Don Franklin running in 2nd. The H2O of Robert Gordon trying to take that 2nd spot away. The top 2 point guys, or the top 2 point men who are tied atop the points. Boonton the 25, Gordon the H2O running 1st and 2nd. 3rd now is Franklin with a 69. Up to 4th is Josh Terry with car number 43. 5th is Curtis Seymour with a 357. And in the 6th position is Lance Raptoy with car number 11. Raptoy trying to get into the top 5. Raptoy started deep in the field, not quite dead last, but it was back in row number 9 for that car number 11, as we are halfway home for Kevin Boonton, the defending track champion, looking for his first checkered flag of the season. Leading by 2 car lengths. 2-time winner Robert Gordon runs in the 2nd spot. Don Franklin, who finished 3rd last week, is there again. Josh Terry in the 43 running at 4th, and into the top 5, Lance Raptoy. Don Franklin almost getting a piece of the wall that time off of turn number 4. Hanging on to that race car, but he's sliding back to the 43. Fighting the handle with that 69 car is Don Franklin. The 43 of Josh Terry closing in on his back bumper as he tries to get into that show spot. Closing in on that battle for 3rd is the 11 of Lance Raptoy. He's like to finish the charge and get into the top 3. Kevin Boonton is extending the lead out front. It was 3 car lengths. It's now 6 in the middle of the backstretch as the 43 of Josh Terry moves to the inside of the 69 of Don Franklin. Franklin pushed way to the top of turn number 2, and Terry was able to drive underneath. He's in the 3rd position. 4th now is Don Franklin with car number 69. Running in the 5th spot is Lance Raptoy, closing in on the back bumper of Franklin's 69 car. 6th is Curtis Seymour. 7th is Dave Drake. 8th is the 7 of Daniels. That's a fine recovery by the 7 team into the top 10. And Joe Warren is also into the top 10. He's running 9th. And Rick Donor has recovered as well. He's into the 10th position with car number 86. So you've got several drivers that have charged from deep in the field to get to the top 10. Nice job by those drivers. Out front, Kevin Boonton. The lead continues to extend. It's up to 7 or 8 car lengths off of turn number 4. Boonton driving a smooth line around the track, and he's drawing further and further away from that H2O car. Before you know it, we'll have a good battle for the 3rd position. Don Franklin is still running about a car length off the back bumper of Josh Terry's 43. And he's going to have his hands full with Lance Raptoy's number 11, who's just a car length off of his back bumper. Raptoy is 5th. Very loose off of turn number 4, having to slow down to hang on to that race car. It looked like he was going to be able to join the battle for 4th, but now he is sliding backwards again. The handle going away on car number 11. Lance Raptoy sliding back. The 7 of Joe Daniels trying to pick up a spot. Dave Drake's number 3 on the outside. Daniels will come through. And the 86 of Rick Donor is also closing in on that position as the 3 seem to be fighting it on the outside of the racetrack. Car has spun on the inside of turn number 4. It's the Sayward 17, and then is going to bring out a yellow flag, setting up what should be a fantastic finish. Josh Terry and Don Franklin are in row number 2. Lance Raptoy in the 11 and Curtis Seymour are in row number 3. Then Joe Warren and Joe Daniels in row 4. Green flag. Field races off into turn number 1. Boonton on the inside, Gordon on the outside. Boonton pushes up the track into turn number 2. Gordon's hanging right with him. They're side by side into the 3rd turn. Don Franklin trying to close in as well. Here they come off of turn number 4, down to the stripe. It is Gordon on the outside with 5 to go. Robert Gordon had the lead by a foot. Kevin Boonton sideways into turn number 2. Gordon gets a good run on the top of the track. He's got the nose back out in front. Another side-by-side, a race for the win and a race for the lead. In the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division, there'll be 4 to go this time. Down to the stripe, it's still Gordon. Robert Gordon's got the lead. Let's see if Boonton can hook better in turn number 2. That's where he struggled last time. Gordon again on the top of the track. It's a real good run. Vaulting back to the lead. Into turn number 3. Kevin Boonton still works the inside. Robert Gordon on the outside. This time a better drive for Boonton on the inside. At the stripe, it's a lead of about 4 feet for Robert Gordon. Kevin Boonton trying to get that good run off of turn number 2. I think he's done it this time. Let's see if he can stay right with him, even into turn number 3. Boonton even stuck the nose out in front by about a foot. Now Gordon comes back on the outside. Popsicle sticks are out. 2 laps to go as they race to the stripe. At the stripe, it's still Gordon by 2 or 3 feet. He's getting a great run off the top of turn number 4. Boonton has the nose in front this time. He hasn't been in that position the last 3 laps. Into turn number 3, it's still the 25. Let's see, was that enough of a pickup to allow him to have the lead at the stripe? Down to the stripe, they touch. It's still Gordon with a white flag. Robert Gordon on the outside gives the lead back up. Now Boonton has the lead in the middle of the backstretch. This could be a photo finish. Get ready, folks. Into turn number 3. It's Boonton on the inside. Gordon on the outside. He's been getting a great run off the top of the track. Here they come. Drag race for the win. On the outside, it's Robert Gordon. Kevin Boonton second. The 69 to Don Franklin third. 4th to Josh Terry in the 43. Lance Raptoy 5th in car number 11. We were talking during that last yellow flag upstairs, and it reminded me of a race earlier in the year where a late yellow came out and put you on the outside, and that was the line that Kevin was really running fast with, and it was the same thing again tonight. You were able to win it, especially off of turn number 4. That's where you were getting the run.
I'm really starting to like late race cautions. And hey, yeah, I haven't done this yet. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Premier Paving, Advanced Energy Solution, Mark's Auto, H2O Well Drilling, and my crew. Julie, Tim, Ray, Scott, Randy, Nancy, thank you.
So, Robert, it looked like Kevin had a pretty good advantage there, about 6 car lengths when the yellow flag comes out. When you have the restart, are you thinking, okay, I'm right in it again because you were on the outside and he was stuck on the inside?
Most definitely. I thought I was right in it. And when he passed Big Daddy, he got under him and or over him, and I had to go the opposite way, and it didn't work out. But it worked out in the long run, so we're good.
Over in turn number 2, he'd start to pull away. Over in turn number 4 is where you were carrying the mail.
Yeah, it's really hard on the bottom of the track to throttle up easy. You pull it around and you lose. So the outside definitely is the way to go if you can get there. You can't only race where you got to race. So
Another great race by you guys. Nice job.
thank you very much.
All right, that's Robert Gordon, everybody. He gets win number 3 in the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Is a car to watch, as is Pierre Berthiaume in the 1. He'll start on the outside of row number 2. Several cars that have been running well towards the front, but you got to keep an eye on the middle as well. The 24, the 34, the 90, all coming from deep in the field. This should be good. Here they come. Green flag. Green flag flies on the 30-lap feature tonight for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. Vernold making a 3-wide move on the inside as they're racing hot and heavy inside the top 10. Mike Wells has the lead in the 76. Working on the inside is the 25 of Max Vienne. The 1 of Berthiaume right there as well. Berthiaume looked outside, got on the binders, now drives down to the inside, and Max Vienne takes the lead in turn number 3. The 1 of Berthiaume gets a piece of the left rear of the 76. Both hang on to their race cars. Super fast off of turn number 4 as they're sliding, fighting the handle, trying to find their way around this racetrack. A gaggle of cars working in the middle of the pack, running wheel to wheel, 2, even 3 wide. Look at Andy Haywood's number 80, way up on the top of turn number 3. He's back around the 20th position. Out front, it is the 25 of Max Vienne. The 76 of Mike Wells drifts up the track at turn number 2, opening up room for Pierre Berthiaume at a 1. Berthiaume trying to take that second spot as the 76 holds him off for now as he was able to get back down to the inside. Berthiaume runs 3rd. Dan Brown runs in the 4th spot. Running in 5th is Jason Durgan. 6th is Leon Gagnon in the 4. Todd Orsby runs 7th, and it's Chris Vernold in 8th. Running in 9th, it's Pat McGrail in the top 10, rounded out right now by the 60 of Jimmy Ryan. But just outside the top 10 is the 24 of Patrick Dupree, and the pistol is starting to roll on the outside. Dupree trying to find room around the 60 to get to the top 10. The 11 of Scarborough makes contact with the 28. There goes Trim around. He's knocked into by Mike Rio. Everybody goes trying to find their way around the 28 of Trim, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag. And some good cars running just outside the top 10 like Dupree, Foley, and Martin Roy. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag. Racing into turn number 1. A lot of wheel-to-wheel action around the racetrack. Pierre Berthiaume's going to 2nd. Dan Brown's going with him. 3 wide running just outside the top 10. Patrick Dupree, Pat McGrail, George Foley. Keep an eye on them. There goes Durgan. Durgan sliding through the infield. Todd Orsby in the 0. Durgan comes to a halt in the infield. Let's see if he's off the racing surface enough. I believe they may leave him in there as he is off the racing surface. No, it's going to bring out a yellow flag. Yellow flag back out. That car appeared to lose power coming off of turn 4. Max Vienne, Pierre Berthiaume, row number 1. On the hammer as they head to the 4th turn, down the front stretch. Green flag. Berthiaume got a little loose in turn number 4, coming to take the green, but he is on it over in turn number 2, trying to take the lead away from Max Vienne as they run wheel to wheel down the backstretch. Vienne's on the inside. On the outside, it is the 1 Quebec of Pierre Berthiaume. Again, right to the top of the racetrack. Down to the stripe, it's going to be Vienne. Vienne had the lead by a couple of feet. Berthiaume hangs with him on the outside as they continue to run wheel to wheel around the Big A. Vienne, the 25, the Racing Baker out of Saint-Césaire, Quebec, and Berthiaume in the 1, still hanging right with him at the stripe. It was Berthiaume that time. Pierre Berthiaume turning the fastest lap of the race at 16.5 seconds. Berthiaume trying to put down that 25 car and push him back to the 2nd spot. They'll run up on the slower machine of Jason Bruno. Let's see if that impedes the progress of Vienne. It will. Berthiaume is your leader. He leads by 2 car lengths. 2nd is Max Vienne. Running in the 3rd spot is Dan Brown. The 66 really boxing it up. There goes Mike Wells around the 76 car. Mike Wells spins over in turn number 2 as the 66 really impeded the progress of a number of cars that were trying to race for position And then they were scrambling to get around the number 66 machine, and that brings out a yellow flag for Mike Wells. Pat Dupree, 9th. Martin Ottawa. Jim Ryan is 10th. Those cars in the top 10. Here they come. Off of turn number 4. Green flag. As the shower picks up a little bit, hopefully they'll keep the heat in the racetrack. And we'll get at least to the halfway point of this one as Berthiaume in the number 1 shows the way. They'll put lap number 10 up on the scoreboard. A lap time of 16.589 seconds for Berthiaume, who is pulling away from Max Vienne. Vienne runs in the second spot. 3rd is Brown. 4th is Gagnon. 5th is Foley. McGrail drifts up the track with a 10 car. That's going to allow the 24 and the 90 to move to the inside and pick up a position. McGrail will work on the outside of the racetrack now, but he's lost a couple of spots. Out front, Pierre Berthiaume with the number 1, pulling away from Max Vienne. The lead is half the front stretch. Vienne in second. 3rd is the 327 of Brown. Foley going after the 4th spot, works on the outside of Leon Gagnon. Gagnon in the 4, Foley in the 34, around the outside and putting on a charge. George Foley in the number 34, flying around the outside of the racetrack. Foley sizing up Dan Brown next. Foley looks like he might have a car that certainly could contend with the 1, but right now he's got a full front stretch gap between himself and the race leader. Foley using up every inch of the racetrack, taking it right to the top of turn number 2 as he tries to get around the 327 of Dan Brown as they're halfway for Pierre Berthiaume. Halfway home in this one. Berthiaume in the 1, tiptoes through 2. Max Vienne still running in the 2nd spot. George Foley, who is on the move, running at 3rd. 4th is now Dan Brown. 5th is Leon Gagnon. 6th is Chris Vernold. 7th is Patrick Dupree. 8th is Martin Ottawa. Running in the 9th spot is Pat McGrail. Running in 10th, it's still Jim Ryan with car number 60. As the cars still seem to be handling pretty darn well around the racetrack. Martin Ottawa and Patrick Dupree have a real good battle going on as George Foley looks to the outside of the 25. Here comes Foley, taking it right up by the wall. He's going to make a move for that 2nd spot. Off the pace is Dan Brown, the Sutton Quebec driver in the 327. Slow, look out, Andy Haywood gets a piece of him. Haywood goes sliding over the right front of Dan Brown's number 327, gets a big piece of the wall along the front stretch. Adam Bartamy collects one of the tires down on the inside. Major damage on the left front of Andy Haywood's machine, and we have a yellow flag as Dan Brown just came to a crawl along the front stretch. Significant damage on the Andy Haywood number 80. 17 laps complete, 13 laps remain. We're past the halfway point. And the rain is, yellow flag, yellow flag. Yellow flag back out with the rain picking up in intensity.
So as you mentioned, Rob, this being an official race, if we are not able to get this back going, Pierre Berthiaume will be your winner with Maxime Vienne 2nd, Foley 3rd, Leon Gagnon 4th, and a good 5th place finish tonight for Chris Vernold.
Rick, they're checking thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's see. Berthiaume says.
No.
He didn't say anything. George Foley says, what are we waiting for? Vernold said yes. Dupree says yes. Martin Ottawa says yes. Pat McGrail says yes.
Of course, they're all toward the back of the top 10. They want up higher.
They all want to go.
They're not stupid.
They all gave the thumbs up, it looked like.
All but one. Literally, one.
All right, clenched green flag is back in hand. Pierre Berthiaume, I'm not sure what finger that was that he displayed. Actually, I'm not sure he gave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. All right, so we got a thumbs up from a lot of the drivers. They're ready to go. Track still looks pretty gray. All right, Berthiaume the 1, Vienne the 25, Foley the 34. Those cars in the top 3. Foley puts a little gap between himself and the 25. Going to try to anticipate the start. Charge towards the front. Green flag. Bertiom in the 1. Tiptoes through 2. Seems to be able to get through okay. Oh, the 24 sliding on the top of 2. Here comes Martinois underneath. Maybe the thumb's not up right now. There's a car spinning at the back of the pack. It's a number 66 yellow flag. Come on.